Hi everybody, welcome back to the latest edition of the Fargo Force Show. Joining us this week is Force defenseman Bradley Johnson, his second year with the Force. Brad, you played in 57 of the 60 games last year, 2 goals, 14 assists. This year, 5 assists so far. Most importantly, your plus minus is third best on the team behind your 2 leading point guys, Jack Adams and Hank Crone. First of all, being back with the team for the second year, how much more comfortable are you? How much of a difference has it made being back second year in the USHL, second year under Coach Eads as well?
You know, it's just kind of all about experience, and it's nice to have that experience under my belt, but it also comes with a good amount of responsibility. I have to, help the younger guys, and Coach is kind of leaning on us and a couple of the older guys to help out with the team and kind of show them the ropes.
The Force and you are a part of the top penalty kill in the entire USHL. You're 93%. You've only given up 7 goals in 100 shots this entire season. So just an amazing job by the Force penalty kill unit. What's been the key to that? Can you point your finger or put your finger on kind of one thing there?
I just think it's taking pride in our PK. We have a lot of fun on the PK. We always once a week we have these PK sticks that are no blades on the sticks. So those are a lot of fun to play with, and we practice with our power play. So we always have a lot of fun. You kind of split up the power play guys, the PK, and just a tight-knit group, and it's fun. A lot of fun. And
we mentioned that you have the third best plus minus on the team as well. How much do you guys even pay attention to that? Is that kind of a sense of a pride thing that, you know what, it means your team is having success when you're on the ice? Did you notice that? Do you think about it? Do guys notice about the plus minus in hockey? Is that a big stat?
Yeah, I mean, we have a bulletin board in the locker room, and it's always posted on there, so you can see each guy's plus minus and all that, and kind of go through it. But it's just a stat, I mean, you're gonna have your good games and your bad games, so just a stat.
Well, they're certainly having success with you on the ice. Now, since October 29th, the Force have, with a shootout win at Tri-City, have played 13 games, and you guys have gone 9-4 in those last 13 games after starting the season 4-6. So a big turnaround there. What's been the key to that? Can you kind of pinpoint one thing that maybe with the good play in the last couple of months?
I just think that it's getting to that time of the year. We've been around the guys a lot and kind of clicking, kind of finding the chemistry with what lines and what guys work together well. So I don't know, just hanging together on and off the ice and just coming together like a family.
Well, it seems like it's working very well. Since our last show now, which was nearly a month ago, the Force have played 8 games. Let's recap how this last month has gone. It started out on the road in fantastic fashion. Friday, November 18th, you guys shut out Omaha 5-0. Matt Murray with his 3rd shutout of the season, 33 saves. Blake Lazat had 2 goals in that one, and you held Omaha to 0-for-6 on the power play. The next night, you went down and shut out Waterloo 4-0. Murray with another shutout again. Crone with a goal, Bell with a goal, Jack Adams with his 14th, and you held him without a goal in the power play again. And for his efforts, those back-to-back shutouts, Matt Murray, the Force goalie, named USHL Goalie of the Week, has a league-high 4 shutouts, a .920 save percentage. It seems like Matt's really kind of started to feel comfortable and confident. After maybe a little bit of a slow start, he's really kind of finding his groove.
He works really hard. He trains hard off the ice, and he works hard on the ice. He takes shots multiple times after, stays out there long with all the guys. So no, he's definitely finding his groove, and he's working hard. So
and great goaltending. Yeah, great goaltending can go a long way. The Force then returned home Wednesday, November 23rd, hosting last place Sioux Falls, and the Force defense played well. They held Sioux Falls to 0-for-8 on the power play, and the Force goalie Matt Murray, who we talked about, stopped 22 of 23 shots. There's one right there. It was scoreless in the second when Fargo's Jack Adams drops it back for Hank Crone, who finds the net, his 7th of the season, 1-0 Force. Same period now, it's Crone this time dealing, and he finds a crashing Clayton Phillips. Great pass, Phillips 3rd of the year, 2-0 Force after 2. Sioux Falls got one back in the 3rd, but Adams added an empty netter for the final margin, 3-1 Force win. Fargo's season best 4th straight win and 7th in the last 8 games. So that is a nice streak there. After a break for Thanksgiving, the Force hosted first place Sioux City. 2:40 into the game, watch this incredible play by Fargo's Shane McMahon. Wins the faceoff to himself and then scores. Wow. His 4th of the season, 1-0 Force. 2 minutes later, Crone out of the corner this time to Adams, and he does what he has all season. He puts the puck in the net, his league-leading 16th goal, 2-0 Force. Great start. Fargo's going to run away with it, right? Well, not so fast. There's a reason Sioux City's in first place. They scored the final 5 goals of the game. The Forest couldn't have an answer, and the Sioux City gets their 11th consecutive victory. Speaking of hot teams, 11 consecutive for Sioux City at that point. The Musketeers even did what most teams couldn't this year. They scored on the Fargo Force against the penalty kill, just the 3rd power play goal allowed all year by the Force. So the next game, Friday, December 2nd, hosting Sioux Falls again. The Force started Ryan Bischel in goal this time, and he was outstanding. 19 saves on 20 shots for Bischel. First period, Hank Crone wheels. He's going to fire off the goalie's glove and in, his 8th of the year, 1-0 Force after 1. Second period, Blake Lazat fires and then follows his own shot to the net, and he knocks it in. Watch this. That's worth another replay right there. He knocks it in. Take another look. 2-0 Force at that point, and we take a look at the high angle there. Force defense stout in front of Bischel. Carson Musser with the crushing hit here to force the turnover, and that was big because it was late in the game with the Force holding a 1-goal lead, and it led to an empty netter by Martin Sundberg to seal the win. The second straight 3-1 victory over Sioux Falls. But on the next night, Sioux Falls got a little revenge, beating the Force 6-2. Newly acquired Force player Jacob Paganelli had the only 2 goals for the Force. Sioux Falls 4 unanswered goals in the 3rd period to win that one, so a weekend split against Sioux Falls. Then the following weekend, Friday, December 9th and Saturday, December 10th, the Force traveled to the #1 team in the USHL, the team with the best record, Chicago. The first night they fall 5-2. Chicago breaks through really the first stinker, Brad, you guys have had on the power play all season. They got 3 out of 5 chances against the Force there. Martin Sundberg and Shane McMahon with the only 2 goals there. But you guys bounced back in a big way the next night with a 4-3 shootout win. You guys won the shootout 2-0. Tufto, Dvorny, and Graham with goals there. Tufto and Graham also had the 2 shootout goals. Murray with 22 saves. The Force are now 2-0 in shootouts this season. How do you feel about splitting with Chicago there? Your reaction, best team in the league. You guys came back, and you were also shorthanded. We'll talk about that in a second. You were shorthanded on that weekend as well and split with the best team in the league.
Yeah, so, I mean, we were facing a lot of adversity going in there, but, I mean, so is every team in the league. Everyone has guys missing in December, so we knew going in there that they're obviously a great team, and we're going to have to come full force. So, I mean, it was a 9.5-hour, 10-hour bus drive on the way down, so that was fun. But, no, once we got there, we kind of just grouped together, and it's always nice being on the road. You just get to be together as a group and feel like you're a little closer than you are at home here. But no,
it sure makes those bus rides back from Chicago a little nicer when you can do it with a win too. I imagine,
yeah,
huh?
no, that was huge. That was one of our points going into the game. Let's have a fun ride back. So.
All right, let's take a look then at the USHL standings in the Western Conference as of these last 8 games. Sioux City still on top. The Force right now sitting with a 13-10-0 record, 26 points, 1 point out of that 4 spot. They were in the 4 spot a month ago when we checked in, so things very tight still right in the middle of things there in the USHL's Western Conference. As far as the upcoming schedule now for the Force, this weekend, Friday and Saturday, December 16th and 17th, you guys host Waterloo, the 2nd best team in the Western Conference. You played them twice so far, each of you guys winning via a shutout, so this ought to be an interesting series. Then Wednesday, December 28th, at Cedar Rapids, the worst team in the USHL. They just have a 3-19 record. And then the following weekend, you guys against your rivals again, Sioux Falls, hosting them December 30th at Shields Arena, and then New Year's Eve at Sioux Falls. As we mentioned earlier in the show, 3 Force players have not been with the team this entire week, beginning with last weekend's games at Chicago, as we mentioned earlier. Blake Lazat, Hank Crone, and Clayton Phillips, all selected for they're all in Bonneville, Alberta, because they were chosen for the U.S. Junior Select Team to play in the World Junior A Challenge. First of all, congrats to those 3 guys getting to represent the U.S. in the red, white, and blue. But that does kind of up the difficulty quotient, doesn't it, to not have 3 of your main guys? You handle it pretty well in Chicago, but you're going to be without them against Waterloo as well.
You know, we're just it allows other guys to get in the lineup and get them more ice time that they're not really used to and kind of show what they're about. So,
overall, heading into these last games before the new year, what's one thing maybe that the coaching staff that you guys are really kind of focusing on and stressing here to make this as good of end of 2016 as you can?
Don't mentally check out yet. I mean, everyone's looking forward, obviously, to see their family around the holidays, but just stay with it. I mean, our guys are good about that, so just stay with it, take it one game at a time, and points should come.
And the holidays will be a little bit more merry, too, with a couple more Force wins for sure there.
Definitely.
Bradley, thanks for joining us this week. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, and that'll do it for this edition of the Fargo Force Show.